Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. Welcome to another episode of Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. I'm Mimi. I've been using the Thermomix for the past 2 years. I've also been an advisor for the past 2 years and a team manager for the past 1 year. Alhamdulillah, we have reached day 4. Is it day 4 of CMCO? I hope everyone is keeping their spirits up. Today we're going to do something quick and furious once again, and I'm going to get down to it immediately. So the first dish we're going to do is ghee, of all things, ghee. Super simple, much easier than you'd expect. Okay, so I'm just going to tap here, start. I've got all the ingredients. The only thing we need is 250 grams of unsalted butter. That's it. Right? And then we put it in our mixing bowl. Make sure to tare when you want to measure it. I've already pre-measured mine. 250 grams is for unsalted butter. Depending on the brand, sometimes it's 227 grams, sometimes it's 250 grams. I buy my butter in bulk, so not an issue for me. So you just put it in, you cut into cubes and then you put it in. And next, insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl lid and voila! 10 minutes, Varoma speed spoon, and we leave it. Now this is one of the things that I love about the Thermomix. In the past, before Thermomix, whenever I have a recipe to do and then I get all these pelik-pelik punya ingredient tiba-tiba nak kena cari, like ghee or maybe some spice like garam masala ke, and then I'd end up like tak jadi masak terus when I cannot find it or if it ends up too expensive. Just like ghee, I just checked the price online. If you buy ghee, 125 grams is about 9 ringgit. That means I'm doing right now 250 grams. So if you buy it from outside, it's easily 9 ringgit 50 cent times 2 is 19 ringgit. When actually, if you buy a block of butter, there's only about 10 ringgit. So especially if you buy it from a baking ingredient store, you will get it much cheaper, usually less than 10 ringgit. You get like 8 or 9 ringgit. So you can choose which type of butter to get to make your own ghee. Isn't it wonderful? And you save a lot of money in the process, easily half the cost of processed ghee. And I've used it before in the past, and it will look exactly like the ghee that we buy from outside. And what I know is that there used to be a class even. People would pay several hundred ringgit just to learn how to make ghee. Now you don't have to spend, rather than spending that money on such classes, might as well you invest in a Thermomix, And because there's so many other things that you can learn from Thermomix. And even stuff like spices, like if you want to do some Indian recipe and it calls for garam masala, you can browse through Cookie-Doo. Cookie-Doo is the recipe platform for Thermomix, and it will give you the recipe for garam masala, for Cajun spice, Worcestershire sauce, and so many other things. It's amazing. Even hoisin sauce, barbecue sauce, black pepper sauce, it's all in here. So that's just one of the ways where you save money because you make almost everything from scratch. Amazing. Okay, so while waiting for that to be ready, I have here already a milk bag. It's a this is a very, what's the term? Very fine mesh, so I can use it to sieve my ghee. If you're using normal muslin cloth, you might need like 3 layers of it because you need to strain the melted butter and put it into a clean container. Okay, and then keep it refrigerated when not in use. And while waiting for that, I'm gonna make myself an afternoon drink. Super easy. I was browsing for something super quick. You know me, quick and easy is my middle name. And I found one. It's called Vanilla Steamer. And let's see how quick it is. And it's perfect for one person. Okay, so it needs 12 ounces of milk. So I tap there. I've got my fresh milk right here. 12 ounces. So it's interesting how whenever we use an American recipe that uses imperial measurements, the Thermomix automatically switches to imperial as well. So the recipe calls for 12 ounces and my weighing scale has changed to ounces as well. So now I've got 11.8. I have to do it slowly because I'm not used to ounces. I've got 12 ounces now. Okay, and judging from the level in the bowl, it's about, I would estimate about 350 grams. All right, and then the next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of sugar, or to taste. This is obviously something very, you know, like, what's the term? Ad hoc. So I put in a bit of sugar. Up to you, maybe you want to skip this. And then half a teaspoon of vanilla, or to taste. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of my vanilla. And that's it. We put the lid on. And it's going to heat up for us, the milk. This is a warm up mode and it's only available with the TM6. I tried using with my TM5, cannot. TM6 only. This is 175F, and all we need to do is to turn the speed selector button to turn it on. Super fast, super easy. Hello everyone, those who just joined in. What we're doing today is we are making ghee in on the Thermomix on this side, and while waiting for that to be ready, I'm making myself a drink called a vanilla steamer. Something super easy that only needed some milk, a bit of sugar, totally optional, some vanilla, and for decoration I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of cocoa on top. So it seems like a great mid-afternoon drink for the 4 o'clock slump, although it's now 6. Okay, meanwhile our ghee is cooking away, 4 minutes and 29 seconds to go. And over here we can see that the temperature has now reached 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Anybody care to take a guess how much that is in Celsius? I just remember a long time ago there was when we were changing from imperial to metric, there was actually a song that I learned, and I remember the formula for Fahrenheit to Celsius. Subtract 32 from degrees Fahrenheit, so 175 minus 32. The result, keep it in mind. Why? When you multiply that by 5/9, and I'll get Celsius this time. So somehow that stuck with me through the years. Alright, so now it's 150 and it's heating up slowly, and it must be a temperature which is less than 100 because we are dealing with milk here. Thermomix is so clever, it knows just what temperature is suitable for whatever we're cooking, because for milk we have to be careful not to scald it too much because it can burn the base of our bowl. So the Thermomix knows exactly what temperature we need to do. So I love this feature where just exactly half an hour ago I didn't know what to do, and then I searched for something quick, something that takes less than 15 minutes to make, and something for 2 people or below. And this is how I found the vanilla steamer recipe. So it's great during CMCO, and it's also great for families who are, you know, if you are living alone or you're just living with your partner or maybe your mom and there's just 2 of you in the household. Whatever the size of your family, there's always something for you in the Thermomix. I even found one recipe for tuna pasta, but it needed some olives and capers, which I didn't have, otherwise I would have made it today. Imagine making pasta for 2. That's so cool, right? In less than 15 minutes, you can have your dinner for 2. No wastage. You cook exactly just how much you need. Alright, and before we know it, we have now reached 170 Fahrenheit for our milk. It should be done soon. Whereas our ghee here is, it will be ready in 1 minute and 51 seconds. So that is how we can also plan our timing accordingly. So depending on how much time we have to cook for a particular day, then you can plan, like especially for the Muslims when we have to make sure that we meet our prayers on certain times. And you know, like, oh, today I'm gonna be home by 6:30, and then Maghrib is like 7:05. What can I cook during that time? And then we plan in between. We need to shower, we need to pray, we need to attend to our kids, and we need to cook. And Alhamdulillah, the Thermomix has really helped me a lot. Otherwise, the time between Maghrib and Isha has always been such a headache for me. I used to call it happy hour, although it's not really happy. And Alhamdulillah, now settled, Alhamdulillah. So I can plan my meals, I can have some time for myself, and then I can get everybody in the family fed ASAP. Alhamdulillah. So yes, now it's at 175. It should be done soon. Oh, there it is. This is done. Let's see what's next. It says keep the measuring cup inserted, and now I think it's gonna froth the milk for us. So it's at 30 seconds, speed 8. So we're gonna let it froth. And over here we have 28 seconds left for our ghee. That easy. And this side we are frothing it. I can smell the vanilla now. Wonderful, wonderful aroma of the vanilla. So I've got my cup right here. One to the side. I've got my cocoa powder and my strainer. Okay, next. Divide between coffee mugs. This one is done. This one, it says to leave to cool for about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna leave that for a while. And this one I'm gonna pour into my pretty glass and garnish with marshmallows, sprinkle with cocoa powder, and serve immediately. I don't have marshmallows. I don't buy that stuff anymore. Maybe I'll make it one of these days. Yes, there is a cookie dough recipe for marshmallows. Ooh, look at this beautiful froth. So I think you can even use this recipe to make frothed milk for your coffee. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, the aroma is so wonderful. Oh, heavenly. I love vanilla. Okay, so we have it here, and then I'm gonna get my handy dandy strainer, because when you want to sprinkle it over, if you want to sprinkle cocoa, it's much better to use a strainer. Oh, I can just imagine if I have some marshmallows with me. Cantik tak? Ha, ini agak-agak kalau order dekat kedai berapa ringgit dah? RM10 kot Okay, kita rasa taste test. The best part of any cooking show. Just right. Dia punya temperature tu, it's hot enough to warm your belly, but not too much to scald your tongue. And the aroma of the vanilla is so great. I think you can even sprinkle some cinnamon powder on top if you wish. Okay, so this one's done, and then I just set it aside for now, and I'm gonna do my ghee. I'll show you how to strain it, because the next step says you pour through a fine sieve into a warm sterilized jar or container, discarding any white solids. Because when we heat up the ghee, what we're actually doing is we are getting rid of the solids, and we are just leaving the oil behind. So that's what makes ghee vegan. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just to put my sieve like this, and I'm gonna take and then it says to seal and label, and then cool to room temperature before storing in the fridge, because that way it's more energy efficient for you to wait for something to cool down to room temperature. You don't put hot foods or liquids into the fridge while it's hot, because that means your fridge will use up more energy to cool it down. Makes sense, right? So now you can see that my butter has melted and there's a bit of white stuff floating around. That's the thing that we don't want. So by letting it cool down a little bit, then it starts to solidify and it makes the straining easier because the white solids separate themselves automatically from the rest of the ghee. So when it's done, it will look something like this. It doesn't look like much now, but once it's solid, it will look exactly like the ghee that we buy. I'm gonna post a photo later once it's cooled down. But that's how easy it is to make ghee using a Thermomix. So save money in the process, explore, cookie do some more, and try it yourself today. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Join me again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Let's bake some bread tomorrow, alright? Give me some suggestions and requests on what we're gonna do tomorrow. But anything involving baking and especially bread. Okay, bye-bye everyone.